All right, everyone. So today we're going to be drawing area models and using that to help us connect to the standard algorithm over here. So I have very specific steps that you're going to take to do that today. The first step is to just start out drawing your box. Okay. The second step, you're going to take your first number and we're going to break it apart by place value on top of our box here. So I'm always going to start with my ones, okay? I have 4 ones, 2 tens, which is the same as 20. And you're going to cut your box in between those numbers. My next step is to do my second number. Whoops. Let me change colors. Okay. 21. Take my ones place. There's 1 in the ones place, 2 in the tens, and then go ahead and cut them. Now, here's where everyone always seems to get kind of confused about what we're multiplying and how. You start on the left, just like you're reading a book or an article. You go on the left and move to the right. Start on the left, move to the right. So it's just like you're reading a book. So we're going to start with the number 1 and multiply it by 4. So we get 4. 1 times 20, easy, 20. Then I go to my next line, just like I'm reading, and all the way back to the left to my number 20. 20 times 4 is 80. 20 times 20, well, I know 2 times 2 is 4. Add my 2 zeros. That gets me 400. Your next step is to add everything together. So you're first going to add everything on the top row. So I'm going to be adding these two numbers together, and I know 20 plus 4 is 24. 400 plus 80 is 480. Now, here's how it connects to the standard algorithm, okay? If I were to use many zoos, many animals, start with my 1, multiply by 4, then by 2, go to my 2, do the same thing, using that standard algorithm on the side instead of all this work shown, you would end up with the same partial products, 24 and 480. Let's watch. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Go to my next number, put my 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. It's the same process without all of the work shown in the area model. So now I know with my partial products, whether you have the area model here or the standard algorithm here, we're going to add them up. 4, 0, 1, 5. So that my answer, I'm going to write in black on the answer line, is 504. Okay, going to let you look at this for a second. Pause it if you have a question. And then we are going to go ahead and erase this top line here so that I have some more room. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. I'm going to move up and zoom in. Okay, so now we have a 3-digit number. Okay. It's really the same process, okay? It's the same steps that we follow. It doesn't matter that it's 3 digits now. We have 242 times 21. First step, draw your box, maybe a little bit bigger because it's a bigger number. We're going to start with the top number and start with the ones place. So I have 2 ones, 4 tens, 2 hundreds. You're going to cut each one. Now I'm going to move on to my second number, which again is 21. So I have 1 in the ones place, 2 in the tens. Cut it. You're going to start just like you did last time with multiplying your 1 times each of the numbers above. Just like we're reading a book. Start on the left, move to the right. So I know 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 40 is 40. 1 times 200 is 200. 20 times 2, remember because I'm going to my next row that I finished, is 40. 20 times 40, let's see, 2 times 4 is 8. Add my 2 zeros, 800. 20 times 200, well, I know 2 times 2 is 4, and I see 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, I'm good to add all of this up. I'm going to add my top row first. I'm going to do that in green. Okay. 2 plus 40 plus 200. Well, that's easy. That gets me 242. And then 40 plus 800 plus 400. Ooh, I think I made a mistake here. This should have an extra 0. I only put 2. So let me go back and think about that again. I have 40 plus 800 plus 4,000. That gets me 4,840. Now, to connect it to our standard algorithm, let's think about it. If I were to start with my standard algorithm, I'd have 1 times all my places up top, which would get me 242. Okay, that's this partial product here. Then I would move on to my 2 and multiply by everything up top. So I'd get, 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 4. Next step, add them all together. 2, 8, 0, 1, 5. 5,082 is my answer there. Okay. I know it can be a little bit tricky at first, trying to connect everything, but we can do this, and we're going to practice it for a long time until we really get the hang of it. And remember, if area model just kind of isn't your thing, it's okay. It's just one tool to multiply multi-digit numbers, hundreds times hundreds and tens times tens, okay, that don't have multiples of 0 in them, where we really have to multiply out. So let's go ahead and do this bottom one here. They don't give you a ton of space, so it's a little difficult for me with the iPad, so bear with me if I have to erase and resize, okay? So we have 314 times 22. First step, draw my box. I'm going to start with my first number on top and break it up. My ones place has 4. My tens place has 1. My hundreds place, 300. I'm going to erase that so that we can see the numbers clearly. Then I'm going to move to my second number, which is 22. I have 2 ones, 2 tens. Now I'm going to go through and break up all my pieces here in between each number I see. 2 times 4, remember I start on the left, move to the right like I'm reading, is 8. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 300, well, I know 2 times 3 is 6. I see 1, 2 zeros. 2 times 4 is 8 plus a 0. 20 times 10 is 200. 20 times 300, I see 2 times 3 is 6, and then 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add these up. Now, if you need to add them up on the side or down below, you can do that. So if you need to do 8 plus 20 plus 600 down here, that's fine to get a 628. That's a-okay with me, okay? No worries about that. Now I need to add this row, so I have 6,280. You just have to be really careful that your place values are all lined up so that you don't make a silly mistake. 0, 8, 2, 6. See, I've got to rewrite this a little bit so I have enough room up here. Eight, 0, 1, 9, 6. So my final answer, my total after I add my partial products, is 6,908. Okay, so I'm going to let you try the next one. Here's how I'm going to do that, okay? I'm going to set up your box for you, and you are going to go ahead and multiply. So this one, we have 413, so that's 3 ones, 1 10, 4 hundreds. This one, 2 ones, 2 tens. I am going to let you try it out, okay? The steps are on the anchor chart in the classroom. We have examples in our notebook today, and you have examples in the video. Your first hint, if you're stuck already, is to start at the top. Multiply my 2 by everything on top, and then you go underneath and multiply your 20 by everything. All right, you can do this. Believe in yourself. I want you to finish B and C on your own.